it's such a freeing feeling when you realize that all the things that you pick yourself apart over, most people are so consumed with how they're being perceived. And if they're not being consumed with that, they're consumed with other things in their life. One of the biggest deceptions you can buy into today is the more you care, the more you gain. Or the more you care, the more they do. That is not true. The more you care, so if you care about their feelings more, if you care about what they think more, if you care about if they text you back or not, if you care about if they respond to your text or not, if you care if they return your calls, you care that they return your nice gestures. But that is simply not true. And if you're on this video, chances are you probably already feel that way inside. The truth is, the actual confident people, they're not going around giving themselves away. They're not going around pleasing everybody and anybody. These people, what they have in common is that they are taking control of their emotional responsibility. So they know that I'm responsible for the way that I feel. Not these people, not this organization, not this relationship, not this friendship. That cannot be the anchor of your emotions. It just cannot, because people are fickle. People change. You will change. I will change. So you just can't put your bets and invest all of your emotions into a person. You just can't. If you're on this video, ask yourself, why do I care so much? Most people, they care too much because they put too much faith in that thing, right? They put too much trust in that person. They put too much responsibility emotionally onto this thing outside of themselves. So, and when this happens, we become attached to the outcome, right? You're attached to the results, right? Especially if you're a giver. This is for my givers. This is for my people pleasers. Just because you're being authentic and giving them your all, it doesn't mean they're obligated to give that back to you. If you are over emotional, you're probably in your head 90% of the time when it comes to these things. And you're probably thinking something like this. Do they like me? Did I say the wrong thing? Why didn't they call me back? Why didn't they return my nice gesture? You're probably thinking something along those lines, and it probably feels like a lot. It's because it is. It is a lot. And so when this happens, you're gonna feel the need to want to control the narrative. And this looks like overextending. This looks like doing too much for them and not enough for yourself. This can look like changing to be what this organization, this person, this business, this yada yada wants you to become, so that you can control the way that you are receiving said gain from giving too much, right? This is going to make you think that you're safe, because in the beginning you might feel your brain is telling you this is safety because I can control the narrative, I can control things, so this is safety. But at some point you're gonna not be able to control set factors, and this is going to make you obsess. This is when the obsession kicks in for a lot of people, and they find, especially if you have an obsessive personality naturally, this is when those individual types become a little too involved. And this is a danger zone, because you're losing control of your emotions by trying to exert that control or dominance on something else. Dangerous place to be. This is the point of the video where I want to talk about detachment. I will preach this to the cows come home, because it is something that I struggled with for so freaking long. Oh my gosh. And it's just gotten better as I got older and learned more. When I was younger, it was terrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody who had to deal with that from me. It took some self-work, reflection to understand what I needed to practice was detachment. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about why you are overconsumed with this person or these people or this thing. Let's talk about it. When you finally are detached, like truly, and not just hipster Tumblr detached, there's two different types. There's like formative detachment, which looks very different from actual detachment. I think performative detachment is still coming from a place of neediness and control, because it's like you're doing that expecting that person to give you the reaction that you want, but true detachment looks different. Now, so look at it like this. Detachment for you could look like, I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna be a good person. I'm gonna be the best version of myself that I know how to be. And then I'm gonna let go from the outcome. Whatever happens, happens. But I know in the end, I was myself, okay? And I gave what I had to give at that moment, all right? And I'm okay with that. And then let it go. Because you can have passion about something. I have passion about YouTube. I have passion about my dreams. I have passion about staying active. I have passion about my family, friends, and loved ones. I have passion about them. I want to see them do good. I genuinely do. But I can't let that control my peace, right? I just can't, because I will have no peace. I will be fighting for my life, trying to make everybody happy or make sure everyone's living the life they want to live. I just can't, right? I can only do so much, and you can only do so much. It's not about, I said, the hipster detachment of pretending to not care. Performative detachment. It's not about performative detachment. It's not about caring the least and having no emotions, because I think we could both agree that you becoming that version of yourself will just make you even further from your true objective and your true nature, and it will make you insufferable, quite literally. Who wants to be around somebody like that? So it's not about people who care the least. It's about people who are steady and are like, you know what, I'm rock solid. I got me. Alina Baraz, I love that song. It's called I Got Me. I'm probably going to play this after. It's such a great song. And they're the ones who, these type of people are steady regardless of the outcome. And I'm not saying that they don't feel like the feelings that come when it doesn't happen the way you want it to. They're human. We're all human. You're gonna feel disappointed, but the difference is, how do you act upon that? Are you gonna go spiraling? Are you gonna go blowing up that person's phone? I'm looking at you. Are you going to ride by their house to see what they're up to? I'm looking at you. No. Are you going to write a scathing review to that organization or business just because you didn't get what you wanted out of it, but they didn't necessarily do anything wrong? You're just upset. Are you gonna spiral? Are you gonna have an outburst? That is not the answer. That might make you feel good in the short term. Trust me, I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. It's gonna make you feel good for like maybe a day or two, and then you're gonna regret all of that, and it's just gonna feel embarrassing, and those are more feelings you have to unpack and work through. I like to make things easier and simpler. I don't know about you. This video, I don't want it to be too long. It's already 10 minutes. I realize most people, majority of people, are in their heads thinking about themselves, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, it's such a freeing feeling when you realize that all the things that you pick yourself apart over, most people are so consumed with how they're being perceived. And if they're not being consumed with that, they're consumed with other things in their lives, right? There's this meme of congested highway, and each car has something different written on it, and it's basically, it paints a picture of just how different everyone's lives look and how we all got something going on, and you would never know because you just look at a person and you take them for face value, but you never know what's going on behind closed doors for that person. Most people aren't studying you. I'm gonna tell you a few fundamental truths. As human beings, we all are worried about a few things. We're worried about the way we look. We're worried about the future outcome. We're worried about insecurities. We all have them. We are worried about our problems. We're worried about our problems. Somebody out there is worried about something that you could never even begin to imagine they are going through. So just realize that when you're starting to allow somebody to take up a lot of space in your mind and you're getting in your head about, why they do me like that? Well, maybe they got something else going on. A lot of the times the way people treat you is not a reflection of you, but of their own internal dialogue, right? So it's ruling our lives. There's this quote, I can't remember it, and it probably won't resonate with some of you, but right now it just feels right. With fate. It's a fate quote. It goes, hold on, give me 1 second. It's by Carl Jung, and it goes like this. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I don't know why that just came up to me, but somebody needs to hear, look, bringing this to the forefront of I care too freaking much about this thing. It's driving me insane. Why is this always happening to me? Until we bring that to the forefront and we're aware of it and we're conscious of it, we can't make any changes, and we'll just think that some people will think that they're cursed. So now that I dropped that little gem for you guys, I hope somebody loves and resonates with that, because it definitely opens something up in me. Every time I see it, I'm like, dang. One of those radiating moments where you just kind of like, you have a light bulb moment. I'm getting off topic. I'm gonna keep going. If you realize everyone's just focused on yourself, what can you do? What can you do to make it so that you're not as focused on other people or other things? Build a life you love. Create a life that you want to wake up to. Create a full life, right? Because when you're lacking in certain areas, it can make you more vulnerable to hyperfixating on things that are counterproductive, right? It will make you predatory people. So create a life that you love. If you're into fitness, get into fitness and commit to it. And don't waver. Don't waver. Lock into that. If you're into art, lock into that. If you're into cooking, lock into that. Join a new club. Join a new gym. You've always been going to the same gym for so long. Go try another gym in another location. Something else. Hobbies, right? I already mentioned that. Friends. Now, this may or may not resonate with you, but even if you just have one solid friend that you can call every once in a while to check in on, at least then you won't be hyper fixated on just that thing or that person. It's true. Take it from me, myself, because I've been in that situation where like I was too focused on one thing and neglecting friendships. I've been there. It's not a fun place to be, because then when you're out of that situation, you like have no friends, and then you have to start all over. Next, faith. If you're not spiritual, I get it, I understand, but me personally, very spiritual when it comes to these things, because I realize that we are not up against just what we can see, but the unseen. Again, that's why I mentioned the Carl Jung quote. So my faith is something that, although I am not a perfect person, I feel like when faith is mentioned, or religion is mentioned, that person is painted in an angelic light, but that's quite the contrary, actually. It just means that I'm a learner just like you. And because I don't know anything at all, because I don't know much, that's where my knowledge comes from, my inspiration, like that, it all comes from God, and I give it right back to God, because I know that none of this is my own. And I know that also with faith, it gives you a compass. So instead of wanting to control this person or control the narrative, you know that God, what he has for you, or what God has intended for your life will come to fruition, and you don't got to do much else. So it takes some of the weight off of you for sure. The next thing that we are going to be talking about today is creativity. Just if you are a creative person, definitely don't shy away from that at all. Because when you lead into your creative nature and your playful nature, it literally makes you lighter in a sense, energetically lighter. So this could look like, I mentioned, art, or just like listening to music, dancing, things like that will get you in that playful energy and out of the serious, I need to control everything energy. And these are things that you can do immediately when you're feeling that way. So definitely don't feel you have to do them all at once, but these are just a few. Career. With a career, it definitely takes up a lot of time. And so you're able to allocate your skills to being better and developing them and owning those skills to become a better person in your career. I'm not saying that if you don't have one that your life isn't full or anything, but another thing are personal goals. You have a personal goal of, let's say you want to wake up earlier, start doing that today. Why wait for tomorrow? We don't know what we're going to have tomorrow. If you have personal goals, you just want to save more money, start doing that today. Have things that you can look forward to that will make your life bold, bright, colorful, and full, so that something or someone can't come along and become the center of that. It goes back to making yourself the center. Very important if you want to stop caring about people who don't care about you. Lastly, this video is going to be a little bit long. Ugh. It's okay though. I'm happy about this video. Instead of asking, oh my gosh, what if I lose this thing? Instead of asking that question, ask, what if I'm okay either way? That is where your confidence will start to grow, because you'll realize all you really needed to rely on was you, because you are rock solid and you know that. So stand 10 toes on it. Because confidence isn't knowing that it's always going to work out for me. That quote sounds great in theory. I've heard it a million times. Confidence is knowing that either way, if this doesn't work out, something better is going to come along. I will still be okay. I will still be Alyssa, or I will still be insert your name here, right? I'm going to end it here, but I just want to reiterate that the goal was not to care less or be a careless person. We don't want to be insufferable. If you do, more power to you. But the goal is to stop caring so much that you self-abandon and that you feel like you need to cater to people who wouldn't, unfortunately, think twice about your feelings. And what comes from that, right? So at the end of all of that comes a sense of inner peace, knowing that you can trust yourself and self-trust. And that's very important, because if you don't trust yourself or the higher power, you won't believe that things will work out in the end. Even if that situation didn't turn out how you wanted to, something better will come along, or something more fitting and aligned will come along for you. That was the end of the video. How to stop giving about people who don't give up about you, or the child-friendly version, how to stop caring about people who do not care about you. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you did. Be sure to like so that I know that it helped you out today, and subscribe below to support this channel and future videos that I post, as well as comment below to help the engagement and to share any of your experiences with this and how it has helped you out. If you have any suggestions, always open to them. Constructive. We don't do destructive. Constructive is what I will accept. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here now. But I do want to wish you a lovely day ahead. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.